The next generation of Switch is right around the corner. It's been a great few years with the Switch, but now it's time to look at the future.
And I don't really want to say the typical, oh, it needs more power, it needs to be a handheld, because I figure that's just kind of obvious, and of course it's going to be a handheld. I want to go over the things that will make the next Switch really stand out compared to the competition, especially with more powerful handhelds like the Steam Deck, the Aya Neo, the ROG Ally. Those have a lot more juice to them.
And let me know down in the comment section below, what do you want to see from Switch 2? The next Switch is only going to be about as powerful as a PS4, and that's fine by me. Oh, and things that are going to be in like the realm of possibility. As cool as it would be to see the next Switch have Game Pass, boy, you are out of your mind if you think that's going to happen. We got to start off plain and simple with.
So I'm kind of coming out of the closet with this one. I love VR. This has to be probably the sickest innovation in gaming ever. The PSVR is an absolute blast. The Meta Quest looks insanely sick, and Nintendo has dabbled in VR, but hasn't quite nailed it down just right. And this is such a kick in the balls because Nintendo literally has the perfect VR form factor with that little console.
Just slide it into a headset and you got the Joy-Con and bam, VR. I hope if they do this, it's not cardboard. That was cute with the Labo, but it's just cardboard. There was no way for it to stay on your face. You had to hold it there, and that's just stupid.
And I'm pretty sure it is confirmed that the next Switch will be a handheld hybrid. So to have VR just not be a possibility would be nuts. I want to play some kind of VR FPS game that confuses my fight or flight response into me having a heart attack. Give us a game like Punch-Out VR, that would be amazing. Or better yet, port over some games like Beat Saber, Iron Man VR, Batman Arkham Shadow. Those would be so much fun to have on the Switch. And please also do Spider-Man Far From Home VR experience because daddy loves to web swing.
Hell, so many companies in the past year have come out with their own AR glasses, and apparently they're really cool.
I could definitely see Nintendo doing something like this really well if they put their two functioning brain cells together. But if they are going to do VR, they have to give us.
The motion controls on the Joy-Cons are pretty good, but the Wiimotes is far better. Don't you dare make fun of my Motion 2-in-1 or my Armor 3. This is all they had. They're not ergonomic at all. Anytime I raw dog it with the Joy-Cons, my fingers just go numb. My physician says it's some kind of venereal disease, but what does he know? And I don't think it would really work if they were built like the Nixie controllers, because when you flip these on their side, this is not ideal at all. Playing Boomerang Fu with a D-pad feels like you're poking a brain tumor. And apparently they're gonna be bigger anyway, and instead of the rail system that we have, they're gonna be magnetized to the console.
Yeah, bitch! Magnets!
Now, I don't know how that's gonna work, but I really hope it's for the best.
And of course, what Nintendo needs to make those Joy-Cons really good is the no drift. Holy shit. And thank God that I've only ever had one pair of Joy-Cons crap out on me and then they refurbished it just fine. But the fact that this was such a major issue within the first year of the Switch's life was crazy.
And I think they're gonna do Hall sensing sticks now, which is what every other company is doing, so there's that. I just wish they were keeping the same OLED screen on the new Switch. It at least needs. The next Switch is not gonna have OLED. Damn. It's gonna be some type of LCD screen, which isn't bad at all, and it's gonna be a 1080p display. If they're not gonna do the OLED screen, I hope it's at least the same size, because that screen is massive. 7-inch screen, please. That is so small. That's like borderline microscopic.
But in all seriousness, a 7-inch 1080p LCD display would f***ing rip. But imagine how sexy games like Tears of the Kingdom, Metroid Prime 4, whatever the next Mario game is gonna look like on that display. And they're adding DLSS onto the next Switch also? Whatever that is. But I know these games are going to look gorgeous.
But it's also really important to have. Now, I don't know about you, but I have a ton of Switch games, both physical and digital. I'm moving towards a more digital path with my games, but I'm still bisexual about it.
And it's either been leaked or confirmed at this point that for the Switch 2 carts, they're gonna be the same thing that what the DS did to the 3DS and just add a nipple. But they need to keep that NSO profile and games and just bring them over to Switch 2.
Like I said, I downloaded a bunch of shit from the Switch eShop, and it would be catastrophic if all of that was just a waste of money and I had to buy all of those games over again. Like, I want to spend money on this thing. I really do. But at the same time, it's kind of a risk. Why would I buy games for this when I have zero idea if these purchases will transfer over like they do with Xbox or PlayStation?
Wii to Wii U and to Switch didn't transfer, and neither did DS to 3DS. Okay, yeah, you could file transfer, but you couldn't do that from Wii U to Switch or 3DS to Switch. And I feel like it's just a safer bet to have the NSO as their main online hub. So that way, if you bought games on Switch 1, you just download them again on the Switch 2. And that leads me breathtakingly into my next point, and that's we need a...
It's pretty obvious that the Switch Online is dog shit. It's pure dog shit. This would be embarrassing for 2007. It's 2024. I need friend codes to add my friends online. I can't start a party chat. I can't send messages, and I can't chat with players online. That last point isn't as big of a deal because I've already party chats in Discord, but come the f on. And speaking of Discord, you should join mine down in the description box below.
Now, imagine this if you will. You and 3 of your buddies loading up into a lobby to hunt some monsters, do the dash, or splat some ink, and you're all doing that within the Switch's party chat on the system. Now, this doesn't really affect me because I have no friends, but also as a YouTuber, but I have my Switch hooked up to my PC so that way I can capture footage, and then I also have my headset and my microphone. So if I want to just go into an online lobby, I just pop up Discord and I'm good to go. But the funny thing is, not everybody is a YouTuber. Most people just have their Switch hooked up to their TV, and you don't want to just bring out your phone. Oh, you're gonna call them and then play the game online? That's just so jank. Actually, Nintendo thinks that's exactly what they do, because remember when Splatoon 2 came out and they gave us that stupid peripheral? That way you hooked it up to your phone and to the Switch, and it just looked like shit. I'm pretty sure no one bought that, and if they did, they definitely don't use it anymore. I don't think Nintendo even supports it now.
And besides from all of that BS, matches are constantly cutting out early.
And good luck to you to having a smooth match in Smash Bros. Ultimate, Nintendo Switch Sports, or any Nintendo published game.
And I think it's kind of the same with their tech with the eShop, because that's running off web browser tech from 2005. Keep in mind, in 2005, barely anybody's playing online video games.
Those were like the LAN party days, and granted, you don't really get a Nintendo console or their games to play them online, but when a huge chunk of your catalog is online games, you gotta boost your stats, you know? You gotta make sure your online works. And hell, bring back Miiverse too, that was so gas. I was on Miiverse all the time, and it made all the games I played, no matter how big or small, just feel bigger that more people were playing them. And it was pretty nice to be stuck at some place in the game, take a screenshot directly from the console, post it to their own social media and be like, hey, how the f do I get past this boss? And people would just help you. It was this nice, supportive community. It was awesome.
And on that note, achievements. Now, I am not the achievement hunter type of guy, but I still think they're pretty fun to get. Nintendo already has something similar with the rewards and the gold and platinum coins, and I like how those actually have a purpose where you could get rewards. Granted, they're nothing to really write home about, but they're cute little things, and they're already more useful than Gamerscore and whatever the PlayStation has. And I want a... Now, there's nothing wrong with the Switch's UI. It's just so boring. The Wii had those channels where it felt like you were browsing through the TV. We had the themes for the 3DS, which just made the experience a lot more personalized. The Wii U had the dual screen, so you could swap between Miiverse and the home menu on the gamepad and TV. The Switch's UI just feels like an iPhone or an iPad, and that's not really fun. Like, they finally added folders after years of us begging, and they suck. You can't really view them like you could on the Wii U or the 3DS. It feels like they just did it to do it. They're like, hey, we finally added it after you've been begging for years. They put minimal effort into it. Not to mention, all of these, including the DS, had a background music. Yeah, maybe not like full orchestrated songs, but still like some ambient music. You recognize all of these the moment you hear them, and it adds to that experience. And the eShop music too. So when I'm writing these scripts or editing these videos, hell, when I go grocery shopping, I'll just play the various eShop music in my headphones. It's just really fun and chill music. And when you open up the Switch eShop, you could hear a pin drop. And can we please get some...
On the Switch, we got YouTube, Hulu, and that's it. Really no Netflix, HBO Max, or I'm sorry, Max, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus. Really? The family-friendly console doesn't have the family-friendly streaming service? There's no Disney Plus on the Switch? Are you kidding me? Hell, I see iPad kids all the time in public on their iPad, just watching shows. Why wouldn't Nintendo capitalize on that? And no, I'm definitely not saying that the next Switch needs some kind of like 5G plan attached to it, but these platforms allow you to download the content so that way if you don't have internet, you could still watch it. I think that's so cool. Bro, this would be so clutch on flights, especially because my iPad can no longer hold a charge.
I watched so much Netflix on my 3DS and my Wii U. Hell, the Wii U had Amazon Prime Video in 2012. Guaranteed nobody knew what that was. That was probably the least viewed streaming service at that time, and they still had it. And with big name titles like The Boys and Invincible on it, yes, I only watch comic book it's just gone? This is just a stupid butt decision.
And can we please get an internet browser? DS, 3DS, Wii, Wii U, they all had internet browsers, but not the Switch. That's just weird.
The Switch has been a huge part of my life for the past few years. So many phases of my life, from my late teens to now my mid-20s. I fell off from playing video games around 2016 for a long time, but this brought me back to it. When I first got my Switch on Christmas 2017, I was just some 19-year-old college kid, kinda aimless in life. Now I'm becoming the man of the house. I have direction, and I know where I want to take me and my family. I used to throw my Switch in a backpack every time I left the house. Now I leave the house with a diaper bag. Who knows what life will be like for any of us when the Switch 2 generation is all said and done, but I know one thing. I'm definitely bringing that Super Switch with me. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Join the Discord so that way you know whenever I post new videos. And click that video on the screen right now. YouTube thinks you're gonna have a really good time with that one.